Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Peter, here with my puppy States. Uh, Picked up my wife from the hospital yesterday, but I ended up really wrenching my back, getting her wheelchair up the one step that we didn't have a ramp for. Um, yeah, not fun. Didn't get any sleep last night. Trying to just relax. I've been doing some stretching throughout the day, but my back is just kind of locked. Kind of everything, all the muscles are just tight, which presses on the nerves and sends lightning bolts down both my legs, and it's not fun to deal with, but she's home at least. Also, a huge shout out. Today is September 30th. It's my son's birthday. He's turning out to be a great young man. With hurt in my back, I wasn't able to drive today to Sacramento to get him, and I missed kind of an important meeting. But, it's kind of how my life goes sometimes. Anyway, happy birthday to my hero. I had a wonderful young man, Austin Wingowan, aka Dubby. His mom's gonna drop him off for me tomorrow. So see if he wants to be on video or not. If he does, we'll try to think of something to do. And yeah, I guess that's that on that. I'm gonna try not to move around very much in the video. However, I have to, so let me apologize in advance for any grunting. So welcome to Story Time with Pete. Oh, wearing one of my favorite shirts. To me it's backwards, so I don't know how that comes on camera, but Katie got me this from a little shop, Evangeline's in Old Sacramento, a couple of years ago. Yeah, so welcome to another edition of Story Time with Pete. I was in high school, and I went on a camping trip with my brother and a couple of buddies for spring break. Be honest with you, I can't believe my mom let us go, but we were with an adult, which was somebody that was over the age of 21. But it was a pilot, assistant manager, yeah, good guy. So I honestly, though, I can't believe my mom let us go, but it was me and my brother and 5 other friends. It was extended stay, going camping. Me and my brother and one of our other friends were the most experienced campers on the trip. So we were in two Acura Integras loaded with camping gear, lots of beer, lots and lots and lots of beer, some sodas, sleeping bags, stuff like that. Guys in high school, yeah, well, at least for me, my brother, and our buddy, we brought, you know, jackets and rain pants and snow pants and boots and gloves and stuff like that. But a bunch of the other guys just came in, like jeans and sweatshirts and stuff. Uh, and one of our buddies' dads had old military surplus canvas tent, but it was plenty large enough for all of us to sleep in, and our gear to keep dry. But we pulled up to the camp. I wish I could remember where it was. The only thing I remember was we hiked up, tried to hike up to a lake called, I believe it was called Eagle's Nest Lake. And we were about 45 minutes away from the ghost town of Bodie, but we were in the high Sierras. So when we got to camp, it was covered in a couple of feet of snow. Which we were prepared for. Surprisingly, we had some, small shovels. So a couple of us got to work clearing out a spot for the tent and a path over to the fire pit. Clear out the fire pit, clear off the table, start draping tarps, getting everything covered, and making his igloo ice chest for all the beer. I mean, we brought a lot of beer. Yes, we were in high school, and yes, it was illegal for us to be drinking, but we were the only ones out there. Didn't see nobody, and that's kind of what we went for. So we knew what we were getting into. But a couple of the other guys, not so much experienced in camping. So we get the tent set up, we get everything staked down, we get everything tarped off, hang a tarp over the table, get everything, just kind of get camp dialed in, and it starts raining, so we got to get all the gear in the tent. And me, my brother, my buddy, and actually the guy that was the responsible told everybody, whatever you do, don't touch the roof of the tent. Anybody that's camped in one of those tents knows exactly what I'm talking about. But one of my buddies, he's a smart ass, he doesn't listen. And he's like, why not? And he touches the roof of the tent. That's where you're sleeping, right underneath the spot that you just touched. Anybody that's gone camping in one of those tents knows exactly what I'm talking about. You don't touch the roof. Anywhere where you touch, it draws the moisture into that spot where it was touched, and you are going to get a leak. So, we get everything in there, we get all set up, we start to go get dinner ready, Yeah, get the stove set up, get stuff set up over by the what we're going to be cooking on the fire. And I forget who it was. Hey, need to boil some water. I think we were making like some mac and cheese or something. uh, I didn't bring any. Did you bring any? No, I didn't bring any. Did you bring any? No, no, no. We brought more than enough beer, and none of us had the wherewithal to bring any water. uh, yeah, I was pretty stupid. You know, young kids or inexperienced. Inexperienced, I guess, just not, bringing the right provisions for the trip. But there was a fresh water stream nearby, so we boiled that. But still, I mean, you look down in your red Solo cup that's white on the inside, and you see crap floating around in the water, and it's like, yeah. So we used it for cooking. And washing up in, but didn't really drink a whole lot of it, so we relied mostly on the water content of our beer that we brought. We also melted snow, but you would still see shit from the trees in there with it. So anyway, we also had a bunch of stuff that is legal now, but it wasn't legal then. Grows out of the ground type of thing. uh, Sorry. So, that was, yeah, I said too much about that. But, at dinner, camp's all set up. First night, we just kind of sat around the campfire and just, had some beers. All of us were kind of tired. It was a long drive. I know we were in Nevada, but I just don't remember where. If anybody was on that trip and happens to be watching this, if you can remember where it was, leave it in the notes. I would love to go back there. But yeah, so we kind of hung out for the first night, and I just sat around the campfire drinking beer, smoking cigarettes. There was some cocktails and stuff like that, and went to bed. And in the middle of the night, and one of my buddies going, "Hey man, scoot over, it's getting wet over here." The one that touched the roof, and we're all like, "Nah, fuck you, man. We told you not to do it." So, yeah, you're gonna be a little bit wet tonight, man. Hope you learned your lesson. It stopped raining though, and then it started snowing, so, then it was just cold. I was nice and comfy in my bag, man. I'm good. I brought the right gear. I gotta learn how to edit these. Wake up the next morning, make breakfast. It's a real simple campground. There's no electricity. Basically just a picnic table and a fire ring. Just, basic campground. So, you gotta go handle your business. So, everybody kind of picks their rock or their tree and handles their business. And it's, pretty deep in the snow. Um, um, Handle your business. For the new guys, hey, make sure you don't piss uphill from the camp, like right next to the fire. Just kind of basic stuff. We need to take a deuce, do it downwind, that kind of thing. Throw the toilet paper in the fire. Uh, Now we were young, so we didn't pack it in and pack it out, but still, I mean, Anyway, uh, second night we were there, or one of the nights we were there, I think we were there for like 4 days, 4 or 5 days, spring break, no school. Uh, we're no, it was that night. So I'm pretty sure it was on the second night. We're sitting around the campfire. Uh, yeah, having adult beverages, even though we weren't adults. Don't condone this for any children watching, but yeah, so don't do what I did. Disclaimer. Anyway, we also all brought our guns. At least the guys that had guns brought their guns. I went out with, what did I bring? If I remember right, I brought my 9-shot 22 pistol and my single shot 22 rifle. That's actually my favorite gun. That thing is just dead nuts accurate. You put that thing in my hand, I ain't gonna miss what I'm aiming at. Anyway, but well, it's springtime, so it's also bear country. So we all have our firearms, within arm's reach, basically. Well, one of my buddies, and you know who you are. I'm gonna try to keep people's names out of this, but I'm still friends with these guys. But anyway, one of my buddies had to go take a piss, so he steps off into the darkness outside of the light of the campfire. And like, I don't know what he did. I don't remember what he did. Like, kicked rocks and started making growling noises. I'm not gonna say who did it, but you know who you are. Picked up his gun. Never took his eyes off of where he heard the sound, and his gun was right next to him. Picked up his rifle and never left his eyesight of where he thought he heard the sound come from, and just unloaded. And then, I mean, within a second and a half, well, maybe he didn't unload, but within a second and a half, maybe that long, he fired like 10 shots. Sorry, I'm distracted by the sea lions swimming around out here. Uh, but you hear my buddy over there. Jesus Christ, stop shooting. It's just me. Comes up to camp, was like, Jesus Christ. So and so, dude, I could hear the bullets whizzing by my head. I did, dude. I mean, put yourself in. I didn't do it all that much. I'll say I wasn't the one that did it. But, oh man, start messing around like that with guys in bear country when they're coming out of hibernation in the dark. Yeah, you know, kind of take that stuff seriously. Yeah, finished up the night. The next day we were going up to that lake. I think it was Eagles Nest Lake. And we're hiking up, and as we get higher and higher, the snow is getting deeper and deeper. You know, we're all just wearing like hiking boots and stuff like that, or some guys' cases tennis shoes. You know, didn't have any snowshoes or anything like that. But as we're getting up, it was getting more and more obvious we're never gonna make it up there. The snow was just getting too deep, and we went up in elevation. It was coming down heavier and heavier, so we decided to turn around and go back down to a little clearing that we had already hiked by, and have lunch and hang out there, do some shooting, target practice, stuff like that. And I'm off in the woods taking care of, business. And I hear, which one of you dipshits is doing that? But they were closer to me, and this was echoing. Oh, did I really just hear that? Shake the snake and go back over to the guys. Did you guys hear that? And they're like, what? Because they were still shooting. And I was a bit further over by the ridge. And then as I'm telling them, I heard it. We hear it again, so we stopped shooting, and these guys were out there cross-country skiing, coming down. And they start yelling at us for shooting up there, but we were well outside the park, totally legal to shoot up there. We're not doing anything illegal, and they're screaming at us, and we were all, from my other favorite shirt, we were all giving them the finger and yelling back at them. They must have had like CBs or something on them. It was when we got back to camp. Just after we got back to camp, we got a visit from a ranger. And it was like, whatever. He was like, whatever, man. What happened? And we told him. It was like, yeah, that was fucking stupid. Anyway. So those guys take off. We finish up lunch. We finish up, target practice and everything. And start hiking back down. And we got to a spot where there was a cool rock face that you could scale down. Not exactly a shortcut per se, but it'll save you some time if you don't fall off. So the other guys, they kept hiking down the trail, and we hiked over to the top of the cliff. Uh, and it was me, two, three of us, four of us. Yes, four of us decided to go down the cliff, and the other guys kept walking on the trail. And as we were up here, they're down here, and we see him in a clearing, and one of my buddies has this stick in his hand. It's, about yay long, about yay big around. And he goes, "You think I can hit him?" No. No. No way. Absolutely not. You're not going to hit him. It's impossible. I mean, the wind, the distance, the drop, gravity, no way. So he hauls back and he checks it, and as soon as it left his hand, it was like, holy crap. Like, when you rip a good, you just hit a home run with a bat, or you just know you just got a hold of it with a golf club. You just know it. And everybody else does. That's gone. It left his hand and it was like, no way. So we're watching and it sticks going through the air. And then, bam. It hit the one person that you don't want to hit with the stick, and that was my brother. He turns around and he looks up and sees us. Who freaking did it? And we all point at the other guy. Try, don't gotta be a snitch, but sometimes, hey, you also don't want to get socked in the face. And my brother hits really hard. Trust me, I know. Really hard. Oh, they keep walking down the path, and we climb down. Taking that, turned out to be a pretty good shortcut, but a really bad one. To get back to the trail, there was no other path, no other way to go. I've got an excellent sense of direction. We had to go through this marsh, and it was like up to your knees. I mean, there was nowhere to go. We didn't have the gear to go back up. We would have needed ropes and stuff for that, so no other choice but to go that way through the marsh. So we did. We get back on the trail, and we're cruising along, and we're not sure if we're ahead of them or if they're ahead of us, because all of our tracks, we start getting down lower into elevation at this point, and it stops snowing. So we could see the tracks that we made coming up, and everything's all stomping around, so not sure. Until we're coming down and we hear behind us, look behind us, and it's my brother trucking through the snow. And he is pissed. And he's got his eyes locked on my buddy. But he's in stride, and he goes to take a swing at him, but he missed him. And my buddy saw it coming from a mile away. So, I mean, it was basically my brother just slipped, fell, and the other guys that were with him, they were a bit higher than us. They had a camcorder, and they caught the whole thing on tape. I wish I knew what happened to that tape. But my brother ended up slipping and he's sliding. He's just sliding down the hill. He's trying to stop himself. He's hitting like rocks in the snow and then flipping it and trying to stop himself. He slid all the way down to the bottom. All the way down. All the way down. All the way down to the bottom. He couldn't stop himself. We get back to camp. The other guys, they were just behind us. We get back to camp and my buddy was like, "Are we cool, bro?" My brother was laughing. He was like, "Yeah, we're cool, dude. I can't believe that just happened." And then the other guys got there and they're laughing at it and they tell us, "I got it on camera." Awesome. Yeah, it's an old school camera, so you couldn't go back and rewind it and watch it on a screen on the camera, but we watched it when we got home. Oh, that was funny. Just kind of hung out the rest of the trip. Same old, high school guys, at a camp, drinking beer, shooting the shit. Oh, that night, we went through, after we went through the marsh, not just us, I had boots on, hiking boots. Everybody pretty much did. The only person that didn't get their boots soaking wet, I think, was my brother. But the other guys were wearing just like, regular tennis shoes. So everybody's shoes were wet. While we made dinner, we set them over on the rocks next to the fire. Finish up dinner, come back, and we'll find out all of our shoes are just burnt on the sides. Live and learn, I guess. So we had another stop planned. So we woke up kind of early to pack up. I go over to my spot to handle my morning business, and at this point, most of the snow is melted away. And I look over. Guess what I saw? A freaking hose spigot. I go over there and I turn it on. It wasn't frozen, had service, but it was under the snow and I didn't notice it until then. We're already leaving. Told the guys, can't believe it. There's a hose spigot right there. Oh well. But that's when we took off to go to the town of Bodie, ghost town of Bodie. Went and checked it out. I like doing that kind of stuff. I don't know. I kind of dig it. I like seeing it and looking at the history and learning about different things. So we checked that out, but we had to get home. And somehow we ended up getting lost leaving that place. And we ended up wearing 2 Acura Integras. And we're driving down this road and we had to keep getting out. Basically just walked it. But we had to keep getting out, moving big rocks and boulders out of the way to get the cars through. But we also found a bunch of caves to explore, and so we did that. We got to the other end of the road, and so we come out that way, and then there's a sign that is read from this direction that says this road is for 4x4 use only. We lost a lot of time on that road. We ended up out in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere, towns that don't exist where nobody lived. I mean, it was just kind of weird. We finally made it back to the highway after having a long discussion of what everybody thought the direction that we should go. Finally, he listened to me. Dude, we need to head back towards those mountains. The other guys wanted to follow the power lines. We don't know where those power lines go, but we know where the highway is, and it's that way towards the mountains where we came from. So let's take this way. And my brother was like, yeah, guys, listen to him. Pete never gets lost. Thank you, brother. So we did that. Ended up getting back on the highway. Got somewhere pretty close to Lake Tahoe. And ended up getting pulled over because we were speeding. Ended up getting pulled over by Nevada State Highway Patrol or whatever they are up there, trooper or whatever. And he pulled us both over at the same time. He comes by us, turns his lights on in between us, and then opens his door and starts shining his flashlight for us to pull over. So, you know, they got speeding tickets. We made it into Tahoe. Stopped at a pizza joint. We were supposed to be home like that morning, mid-afternoon. This is now well into the late evening, so we all called our parents, let them know what was going on. Had some dinner, hit the road, got back home, and that's the end of that trip. I really do wish I could remember where that was. I've tried finding it on maps several times, but I'm just not sure where it was. I don't mind going out and trying to look for it. I just want to find the general vicinity of where it was, because that was a really great trip. Made some memories there that'll last a lifetime. There's a lot more that I could tell you about that trip, but, you know, the legality of it is questionable. So, I think that'll wrap up this story. And today's edition of Story Time with Pete. Thank you for watching. This has been another edition of Deaf Gowan Camping. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and please comment. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.